YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here, but this one is not coming from the thrift shops. This is actually coming from some garage sales I visited. Wasn't too overly fruitful of a day. I did go out for a few hours, and I did come out with one item that I'm really impressed with. The rest of it's sort of mediocre, not really that big of a deal, but decent deals, I guess. So I'll show you all these things right now. One of the garage sales I stopped at today, the guy only had 2 video games for PlayStation 2. I decided to pick them up. He said they were $1 for each game, but in fact one of them was $2. You'll see that in a second. The first one here is Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and it's missing its manual, but it does have the gigantic poster and stuff inside it, so that's pretty cool right there. The disc is in reasonably good shape. There's a few small minor scratches on it and things like that. Again, not super, I mean, this is a really great game, but this game is really common, so it's not, you know, that particularly valuable, or I might have a hard time getting rid of that one actually. Kind of questionable whether I should have bought these at all to begin with. And then I also bought Grand Theft Auto, the double pack. And again, this one here I already have on the Xbox. I don't really need it for my collection, but if anyone's interested in this, you're more than welcome to, you know, offer something for it. It's not in the world's greatest shape. It is a little bit tattered in the corners and things like that. But both of the games are in there, and you know, like, they're complete and everything like that. So again, just a little bit dusty on that one. And the other one, so for Vice City, missing the manual for that one. But it did come with a poster, although this poster is pretty beat up. I do have extra posters, so it's not that big of a deal. But again, that was $2 right there, so I thought that was a reasonable kind of deal. Nothing I was really looking for though, but when you're driving around and you're using up a little bit of gas, you gotta walk away with something sometimes, so that's pretty cool right there. Moving on from there, I stopped in at a different garage sale, and again, some more PlayStation 2 titles. They're all loose, which is really unfortunate, but some decent titles in here anyways. All the discs are in pretty good shape for the most part, so that's pretty awesome. The first one here is God of War and Ultimate Spider-Man, which I really like that game. That's tons of fun. Def Jam Fight for New York. I don't really know if that's worth anything. I just kind of grabbed it, looked interesting. Sly 2 Band of Thieves, and Sly 3 Band of what is that? Sorry, Honor Among Thieves. And then finally for the PlayStation 1, Wu-Tang Shaolin Style. I think I might already have this in my collection. Not totally certain about that, but I decided to pick those up. All 6 games altogether were $10, so not that bad of a deal, I guess. I'm not really into getting loose games that much, but for what it was, I figured I'd go for it. You know, it's like $1.67 kind of per game, so, you know, not too bad. Moving on from there, this is the find of the whole situation, though. This is really what made me happy that I went out. This first part of it, not so much, but the last thing I'll show you, definitely. So the first part was, when I went up to this particular garage sale, the guy just had like a bunch of stuff out, and there wasn't really anything interesting there, and I said, well, do you have any old video games? And he's like, no. And I go, oh, because I'm looking for you know, Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, stuff like that. And he goes, oh, just a second. And he goes back into the house, comes out like 10 minutes later. He just had to dig through a bunch of stuff to find this, because he took quite some time. I was sort of sitting there, and the garage sale really didn't have anything out. It was very, very slim, like nothing there. So I was sort of like sifting through things for the 18th time over, and then he comes out, and he's got this, which is a Sega Game Gear with the charger. I did test this out. The sound does not work on this system, but otherwise it's in fairly beat up shape, to tell you the honest truth. One of the battery covers has snapped, so it doesn't properly stay on there. It will fall out, and you know, that kind of thing. But I did power it on, and you can see the screen and everything like that. It's just a matter of fixing the audio, which I have no clue how to do, so if you know how to do that, let me know. It also came with this Game Gear battery pack, which I have, again, no way of testing unless I can figure out what kind of voltage goes into this so I can actually charge this battery pack, but right now it has no charge in it, so that was that. It also came with 3 games, which nothing super exciting here, but a copy of Sonic 2, copy of Last Action Hero, and then finally Mortal Kombat 2. So, you know, those 3 games, that system, pretty cool, but this is the thing that really interests me the most and really made the day worth it, because, you know, those PlayStation 2 titles and stuff like that, you know, hit or miss kind of thing. But in the Game Gear, well, I'm not really that interested in Game Gear, but this really did interest me here, and it's a Sega Master System. It's really dusty and really dirty, but I did test this out, and fortunately enough, what this came with was just this, but it did come with its power supply, which is really awesome. But it was just the system only, no games or anything like that, unfortunately. But still, I was looking for one of these because I did not have one already, and once I clean this up, I think it'll be in pretty good shape. I have tested it out. It does work perfectly fine. The AV out matches the Genesis Model 1, so I have a cord for that. And you can plug in Genesis controllers into this system and actually use them as well. So I'm basically set. I can now play my Master System games, which are stacked right back here. There's very few of them, but they're there now, and I can actually put them to some use. I was checking out Enduro Racer earlier on when I was testing out the system, so it is a little bit scratched up, but considering the fact that you never really see these that often, at least in my experience, you've never seen these that often. In a year and a half, 2 years of going to thrift shops, I've never seen a Master System. So really awesome to be able to pick this up, and a great addition into the collection. So that was everything from the garage sales. Now, like I said, nothing super special other than I'd say this at that, but again, I'm super happy to be able to find this item. That was definitely worth the drive around this morning. For all that Game Gear, the games, the charger, the Master System, I paid $18, which I thought was a really great deal. The guy wanted $20. I went out to my car because I just had like change sitting in the ashtray kind of thing, or not in the ashtray, there's like a little whatever kind of tray in the car or whatever, and I went into there, grabbed out what I had, pulled out all the toonies and loonies, and I had $18 there. So I offered him 18. He was like, that's fine, and away we went with that. So thanks again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I will see you all later.